Great, man. What is Pacers needs you every single game, huh? Just blow out City when you're there on the court.
I don't know. I don't know about any of that. They've won a lot of games without me there, but boy, it was a fun environment.
They look good, man. For real, what is the environment like in person? It looks amazing.
So Dale Davis, who's the all-time leader in rebounds for the Indiana Pacers, he came out and he revved the shit out of the engine of the IndyCar.
Happy to be there.
Absolutely. Did not break smile one time. He was back like he was on the wood, trying to get another board for the Indiana Pacers. He had a revved up towel. He was really, but from that moment of him hitting that pedal flat all the way through the dub, it was alive in there. It really was. And I think a lot was made of Coach Carlisle coming out and saying small markets are allowed to have equal opportunity as well or something like that. And I think Pacers fans heard that and were like, hell yeah. You know what? Yeah, this is our guy. Yeah, we would because we're going against New York City. I mean, Madison Square Garden. And I know history says that the Pacers and the Knicks have big-time rivalry, but it's been a while for the Pacers to get to a point of relevance in the entire NBA where here we are. And then the Knicks, every year it's supposed to be. That's what New York people are like with all their sports. Supposed to be. There's so many of us. If we all say the same thing, people will start to believe it. It's supposed to be. So whenever Coach Carlisle comes out and he's like, yeah, it does feel like we're getting cooked a little bit by the big crowd, but that's okay. All of Indiana showed up for both of these games, 3 and 4. And the way they dominated yesterday on Mother's Day, I was sitting next to Tyrese Halliburton's mom. And then obviously I was with my wife, who's a new mom. And then you think about everybody that was there. John Mellencamp was in attendance.
The Coug was there.
The man who didn't.
No, he did.
He was standing.
Stood for the national anthem.
It's about time.
That was a while. That was quite a play out of Mellencamp. He looked really cool on the jumbotron. He had boots on. His hair was perfectly fluffed.
Toothpick.
I mean, he had a toothpick in his mouth. He was really killing it down there. So it was great, AJ. To answer your question, it was a great day in Gamebridge Fieldhouse and didn't really clear out even whenever we were up 40 or so. So I think that's a beautiful thing. And this dude's a star. And he's entertaining as shit. Talk shit. He does no-look passes. He is, and he's locked in for another 5 years, I think, with the Pacers, which is good news. We also need to lock TJ McConnell in for a 5 to 10 year deal here in Indiana. And then Pacers are all the way back. And it was an honor to be there. It was nice to be in that building again.
Hey, watching McConnell play, what's it like watching him play defense in person? All I think of is how pissed off would you be if this dude was guarding you? That's all I think of.
That's exactly who he is. Yeah, you know exactly who he is.
Yeah.
I think every high school probably had one of these guys on their team. You go play pickup somewhere, every once in a while there will be one of these assholes. Yep. This is my cardio. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, this is how this is going, the whole time. That's who he is. He was even pump faking shit. He would act like he jogged down the court, then he comes back, and then he's like, yep, gotcha, bitch. And then he's not even on that guy. He just leaves. He was constantly. And then, AJ, the best part about it is during timeouts, especially yesterday, there was a lot of them calling timeouts to try to stop our momentum. We couldn't. So our arena's going ape shit. McConnell's the last guy to the bench every time because he's taking that tractor another round and he's eyeballing the crowd. Eyeballing the crowd full on. He is are you not entertained guy for the Pacers. It's a show, bro. And Boomer, the mascot, I think from the way the body looked, same guy that's been there since I went to games. All the security people, same people since whenever I went to games back in 2009, 2010. So it was nice to see everybody. It was nice to get back in there. And also, just absolutely destroyed the New York Knicks.
And the halftime show. Not too shabby.
I'll tell you what, best Simon Says player of all time, Stevie Wax, this guy's name. Stevie Wax.
Lightning rod.
It was tough to take serious early. Once he started his Simon Says shit, he was like, oh my, this is a playoff game. That's what I said. This is a playoff game. We can't even get Red Panda out here kicking some bowls. We can't get Quick Change, who I found out no longer perform because they're dead.
No.
Yeah, it was great. Quick Change.
All right.
Well, Simon Says, the whole crowd play? Who played?
Was there kids? Yeah, who?
Kids, moms, pacemates.
On the court?
Yeah, everybody's out there in the line. He's talking to a group. He goes, all right, Simon Says, hands up. Hands down now, hands down. And then people put their hands down, and then he publicly ridicules these people. And then tells them, get the hell off the floor.
Killed that.
He won me over. By the end, I'm like, hell yeah. That's the best Simon Says guy of all time.
Not bad at all.
It was electrifying in there from start to finish, legitimately. There were some break dancers on the floor doing their break dancing thing, like the Indiana Jabberwockies or something. They're doing their thing. They didn't even put them on camera. They had this 90-year-old lady dancing.
Who was killing it.
Oh, my God. Then they go to somebody else who can't dance. Then they go back to this lady doing her. She was dancing, doing her whole thing. Place is going crazy. The Indiana Jabberwockies this entire time are doing their shit on the floor. So whenever somebody, one of them was asking a question like, you want to see me do a headstand? And they had that lady on there dancing. Yeah, they're like, yeah, do a headstand. Nobody knew they were. I think I was the only person that knew.
I didn't know until you were saying this right now that there was something going on in the court other than that lady dancing.
Bingo. That lady wanted. So,
Really?
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Indiana Jabberwockies.
They were doing okay. I saw.
They got to be pissed. They got to be pissed if they keep showing this old lady instead of them.
Bro, they were jogging off though. Huge. They thought.
Good.
I don't know if they know what happened above them. I think they still
don't.
potentially.
They
think.
do now. They do now.
It was you, Jabberwockies.
And you killed it.
It was you crushed it.
Everyone who watched said it was sick.
Dude, nobody was watching them.
I know.
Not a single person. I actually looked around at the entire arena, and I said, nobody's watching the Indiana.
Wait, because they're showing Sister Jean dancing in the crowd. Was she part of the entertainment? Or she just a fan?
Black lady up in the thing. Might have been, might have been 80 years old. Like 70, 80 years old.
Definitely.
In that thing. We're talking moving. Grabbed the towel at one point.
Yeah.
As if she was doing it's like she knew.
Had a visor.
I think... I don't know. I don't know who all was with who in the crew, but there was one person sitting right next to this lady dancing, had his camera shooting right at the Jumbotron, was just dancing alongside of her and massive smile. Yeah. It was like, this is a moment right now we're having in the Indiana Jabberwockies. Just risking their lives, just standing on their heads.
Just got cucked all over the place out there.
It was a good time. It was a good moment. Back to MSG now with all the New York City coastal elitists expecting the refs to call everything for him, like that Tony Peters son of a bitch. His name's Tony Brothers.
Yeah, Jeff Teague has told some funny stories about Tony Brothers.
He mocked me. He came over to me and did the little punt kick thing and rolled his eyes. And I'm like, hey, Tony Peters, you need to relax. Thought that was his name the entire time. I called him Tony Peters no less than 15 times. His name's Tony Brothers, AJ. Don't be an asshole. Okay. I do think they heard me though.
He probably loved the give and take.
They tried to start calling it for the Knicks. We were up 25. They tried to start.
Very popular
big time.
too, brothers. Foster, Scott Foster, Tony Brothers, and Gucci Man look alike. Pretty popular NBA refs.
Dude, we had the one Tony Brothers. Then there was the skinnier white.
Yeah, the Chris Paul one, Scott Foster.
Yeah, he was. Okay, so I did know that I know him.
Yeah, so Scott Foster's the one that always comes up when Chris Paul's in the playoffs because he's never won with them.
Okay, so I actually told my wife, I said, this guy here, he was the one, whenever Barnes to Kobe, he's the one that gave the ball to Matt Barnes. He's been around a long time. That's Tony Peters. And then I said, this one right here, this tall white, I've seen this white before. I don't know what, I've seen him before. He's been around. Very experienced crew yesterday.
Oh, yeah, very.
Very experienced crew. They were getting it. We were up 35 and the fans were calling them bums. I mean,
Way it goes.